Who does Finfinnee, Addis Ababa belong to? Finfinnee. For some people, this name immediately brings to mind the capital city of Oromia. For others, it is the seat of the federal government of Ethiopia. For someone else, it is the city where they were born and built their life. And for others, it is a city with a unique place in the history, politics, and diplomacy of Africa. But there is one question that continues to generate intense discussion and debate. Who does Finfinnee belong to? The question may sound simple, but the answer is not simple. Because Finfinnee is more than just a city. It is history. It is identity. It is politics. It is an economic center. It is a seat of government. And it is deeply connected to the lives of millions of people. So today, on Africa Press, we take a closer look at this question. What does Finfinnee represent? What is its historical connection with the Oromo? Why is it such an emotionally important issue for many Oromos? What do other Ethiopians say? What do the law and the reality of today's city tell us? And how can the question of Finfinnee find a peaceful and lasting solution through dialogue?
Finfinnee, internationally known by the name Addis Ababa, is a city with a long and complex history. Over time, the city has developed into the political, economic, and governmental center of Ethiopia. Today, Finfinnee is the seat of the federal government of Ethiopia. The headquarters of the African Union is also located in the city. Numerous diplomatic missions, government institutions, international organizations, businesses, universities, hospitals, and media organizations are based here. As a result, Finfinnee plays a major role in the political and economic life of Ethiopia. However, when discussing the history of the city, the perspective of the Oromo people, particularly the Tulama Oromo, is an important part of the discussion. Many Oromos view Finfinnee as a place deeply connected to Oromo history and identity. From this perspective, Finfinnee is located within the historical Oromo landscape, holds an important place in Oromo history, and is regarded as a political and social center of Oromia and the Oromo people. Therefore, those who hold this view argue that any discussion or decision concerning Finfinnee must recognize the history of the Oromo people and their relationship with the land. Why is Finfinnee such an emotional issue for many Oromos? This question requires us to understand something important. Why is the issue of Finfinnee so emotionally significant among many Oromos? The answer is connected to history, land, identity, and the experiences of generations. When many Oromos speak about Finfinnee, they are not looking only at the modern city. They are also looking at the history of the land, the people associated with the area, and the changes that have taken place over many years. Therefore, for many Oromos, Finfinnee is not simply a political issue. It is an issue of identity. It is an issue of history. It is an issue concerning the interests of future generations. It is an issue of land, and it is an issue concerning the status and place of Finfinnee within Oromia. For this reason, those who hold this perspective argue that any decision concerning Finfinnee must be carefully considered, discussed openly, and made with an understanding of the feelings and concerns of the Oromo people. They warn that decisions that disregard Oromo history and identity could create serious political and social tensions. This is why the statement that nothing concerning Finfinnee can simply be taken lightly reflects the view that the issue is closely connected to Oromo identity and interest. But who does Finfinnee belong to today? Now let us consider another perspective. Is it accurate to view today's Finfinnee as belonging exclusively to the Oromo? Or is it a city that cannot be limited to one ethnic community? This question has also generated extensive debate. Ethiopians from different regions of the country have lived in Finfinnee for many decades. People were born here. They studied here. They found employment here. They established businesses here. They invested their property here. They built their families here. They built their lives here. And not just one generation, but several generations have grown up and built their lives in Finfinnee. Therefore, those who hold this perspective view Finfinnee as a common city for all Ethiopians. According to this view, the roads, hospitals, universities, government institutions, homes, businesses, and industries that make up today's city have been developed through the contributions of Ethiopians from different parts of the country. Their relationship with Finfinnee is therefore not based only on history. It is also based on life, work, property, family, education, and decades of living in the city. We also built IT with our own hands. One perspective expressed by people who view Finfinnee as a shared Ethiopian city can be summarized this way. Let us speak honestly. Why did we set our eyes on Finfinnee? It is not simply because this city is located in a particular region. It is because the city has grown through the work, knowledge, resources, and sacrifices of Ethiopians from different parts of the country. From this perspective, Finfinnee did not become an important city simply because its natural environment is different from Bale, Arsi, or Jimma. Rather, it became unique because the wealth, labor, and knowledge of Ethiopians from across the country have accumulated here. This view leads some people to consider Finfinnee a national city, But this raises another question. Can the growth of a city erase the history of the land on which it stands? The answer is no. Just as the work and contributions of today's generations should be recognized, the history of the people and communities connected to the land must also be respected. 5. Should one history be erased, or should one history be placed above all others? One of the major challenges in the Finfinnee debate is this. When one person speaks about their history, another person may feel that their own history is being erased. When another person speaks about their rights, a different group may fear that its interests are being taken away. This can create mistrust. But the solution to such a problem is not to suppress one history, nor is it to elevate only one history above all others. It is necessary to understand different histories. The history of the Oromo people must be respected. At the same time, the lives and contributions of communities that have lived in Finfinnee for generations must also be respected. The question should not simply be, who wins? The question should be, how can we live together? Six, Finfinnee and the constitutional question. The debate over Finfinnee is often connected to both history and politics. But it is also connected to law, because Finfinnee serves as the seat of the federal government of Ethiopia. It has a special role in the national political system. At the same time, the relationship between Finfinnee and Oromia has been the subject of political and legal discussions for many years. Therefore, finding a solution to the question of Finfinnee requires more than political statements. It requires consideration of the Constitution, laws, community rights, and the structure of government. A peaceful approach means addressing the issue through legal and constitutional processes, allowing different groups to present their views, engaging in dialogue, and seeking a lasting agreement. Seven, why are divisive words a problem? In discussions about Finfinnee, statements such as, "It belongs only to us," "They should give it back," "They should not live here," "This is our land," are sometimes heard. Such statements can strongly influence emotions. But in a city where millions of people live, words like these can create more problems than they solve. Finfinnee is not the private property of one individual. At the same time, erasing the history and identity of one community is not a solution either. People have the right to speak about their history. They have the right to demand their rights. They have the right to defend their interests. But all of this must be done with respect for others and with a commitment to peace. 8. Can saying Finfinnee belongs to those who live there alone solve the problem? Another argument can also be heard in the Finfinnee debate. Some people say Finfinnee belongs to those who live there. Anyone who lives in the city, works there, owns property there, and builds their life there has rights. Others challenge this argument by saying Living in Finfinnee does not, by itself, erase the history and rights of the people historically connected to the land. Here, the central question returns. How do we bring history and today's reality together? The solution cannot be to eliminate one side in favor of the other. Those who live in Finfinnee today deserve respect. At the same time, the history and identity of the Oromo people connected to the city must also be respected. Can Finfinnee become a shared city? If Finfinnee is a national capital, it should be a city that brings citizens together. A city that serves as the capital of a country should demonstrate unity rather than deepened divisions. Finfinnee may have a historical connection and significance for the Oromo people. At the same time, it has become a place of life, work, and memory for Amhara, Tigrayan, Sidama, Somali, Garaj, Harari, Afar, and many other peoples of Ethiopia. Recognizing this does not mean erasing Oromo history, nor does it mean denying the lives of other communities in Finfinnee. The two realities can exist together. The question is how. 10. What is the solution? So what could be a solution to the question of Finfinnee? First, genuine dialogue. Genuine dialogue does not mean one side speaking while the other remains silent. Different groups must be able to express their views freely and listen to one another. Second, respect for history. The history of the Oromo people, particularly the historical relationship between the Tulama Oromo and Finfinnee, deserves to be studied and respected. At the same time, the history and contributions of different communities in the development of Finfinnee should also be recognized. Third, respect for the law. Any decision concerning Finfinnee should be addressed through constitutional and legal processes. Fourth, protecting human and citizenship rights. People living in Finfinnee should not be discriminated against or threatened because of their ethnic identity or place of origin. Fifth, putting peace first. Finfinnee is home to millions of people. Because of this, a single statement can potentially inflame our emotions and create serious consequences. Therefore, politicians, media organizations, scholars, and community leaders all have a responsibility to communicate carefully. 11. The final question. So what is the answer to the question? Who does Finfinnee belong to? Ask an Oromo, and the answer may connect Finfinnee to Oromo history and identity. Ask other Ethiopians, and some may describe Finfinnee as a national capital and as their home. The law, meanwhile, requires the issue to be understood within the constitutional, legal, and political framework of the country. Therefore, answering this question requires more than choosing one history and rejecting another. It requires recognizing different histories, perspectives, rights, and realities. Let us respect the history of Finfinnee. Let us understand the reality of today. Let us protect the rights of different communities. Let us respect the law. Let us protect peace. Finfinnee, it is not only the seat of the federal government. It is not only a diplomatic capital. It is not only an economic center. For the Oromo people, it carries history and identity. For millions of other Ethiopians, it also carries memories, livelihoods, and family histories. Therefore, the debate over Finfinnee should not be about erasing one history and declaring another the winner. Instead of asking, who owns Finfinnee? Perhaps the more important question is, how can we respect history, protect rights, recognize identity, and live together peacefully in Finfinnee? Because the future we share is often stronger than the disagreements that divide us. A shared future is stronger than a divided past. Finfinnee has a history. Finfinnee exists today, and Finfinnee will continue into the future. The real question is, how can Finfinnee become a city that respects its history, protects rights, preserves peace, and brings its diverse communities together? The answer lies in dialogue. It lies in respect. It lies in the rule of law. And it lies in understanding one another. This is the question of Finfinnee. Africa Press, News, History, and Analysis.